last time we caught up was at the conference. That was over 2 months ago now.
Yes, yeah.
How has things been for you guys since then? Because you just started right before the conference, yeah?
3 weeks before.
3 weeks before. Okay, so it's not even been 3 months of running your Wash Rite.
Yep.
What are we thinking so far?
Great adventure. Such fun. Yeah, we're learning every day. I don't think there has been a day where we haven't sat down after dinner and spoken about the day and what we've learned, and so it's an evolving business, and there's just new things all the time.
I think there's been some highs and there's certainly been some lows. But every day it's, we sort of look at each other and we just know we've done the right thing. No matter what we discover or what the results are, that day or that week or whatever, we still just know we've done the right thing.
I've always thought, and I saw it on a post the other day, that business is like the perfect self-development tool hidden as a money-making machine. Would you agree?
Oh, hell yeah.
It certainly pulls things out from the shadows, or shows you where you're lacking, or where you're also strong as well.
Exactly, yep. Yeah.
How are the boys doing?
Great.
I caught up with Ben briefly this morning.
Yeah, really well. I think Ben's starting to get a lot more experience in the commercial side of things, and really doing well, and getting his handle on how to work with bigger jobs than he has previously, and Max and him get on super well. We've integrated Ross as a subcontractor to pick up on some of the extra workload we have, and we're starting to see some real growth in revenue and jobs and clients.
Cool.
So
Graham was telling me about IKEA.
Yes, unfortunately we didn't get that.
You didn't get it. Unfortunate. It'd be interesting to see how they go on with that, because if they beat you by time...
No, so what they beat us...
time?
No, what they beat us by was IKEA had 2,500 solar panels.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, and the company that won said that they could do it without having to remove the panels. And we were asked if we could do it without removing the panels, and I had a look at it. I had a discussion with Ross about it, who had a lot more experience. I'd taken some images and we spoke about it, and we just said there was no way that we would be able to do a proper job, and be able to do it in the time frame that they needed it done by, if we didn't remove the panels. And for them, it was ideal to not have to remove the panels, because there was a cost and a time issue involved. And we spoke about it as a team together with KP, who we were subcontracting to, and we all agreed that we did the right thing by the customer. We didn't overpromise and underdeliver. Even the customer said to us when we phoned them back and said, there is no tool available that allows you to do this job properly, and you're just going to end up with more rust on the roof. She was not the decision maker. She just said, I know, but this other company has promised it. So, I stand by my decision, and with integrity know that we did the right thing. So
I'm wondering, in my mind, how are you going to clean if you can't get to the surface?
No, and we spoke to one of the suppliers of the guns, and they just said there's nothing out there that would do that job without removing the solar panels. So... yeah, I mean, there were runs of it, like literally.
Yeah.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
Good luck, for sure. And, to be fair as well, if that's the way you guys had to do it and you couldn't see any alternative, then going back on your word is only going to walk you into a problem.
Oh, absolutely, because part of the issue was they were getting rust on the roof already, swarfing from the work that they had done. And if we had said we could do the job that way, we know that in our hearts that we wouldn't have been able to, and we would have been called back, so that, and we don't want that on a Wash Rite.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, you don't want that at all. And it's reputation as well. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Oh well, there's another job out there that you can do in that meantime.
Heck yeah.
How has we were just talking before briefly about Jobber.
Yes.
So you guys started right as that was coming into effect.
We were the first.
You were the first ones on it.
Yeah.
How has that gone for you guys?
Honestly, it has been transformative.
Amazing.
It really has transformed our business. every day, we're discovering new things. They've come up with new upgrades, and it just makes everything smarter. We just ran a campaign where I found out we could create a job form instead of sending a customer through to asking for an appointment. It had a job form, and what I was able to do was list all of the services that we have and get the customer to select which services they wanted. Each quote has actually been between $900 to $2,500. So the basket has increased because now they're aware of other work that we do. They don't just go, I'd like a house wash quote. They now know that we do gutters and pest sprays and. So it has definitely increased what people are booking.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe I'm a complete novice to Jobber, so walk me through it, and this will be good for those watching this who don't know either. If they went to the website and then they wanted to book a quote, it then gets notified on Jobber that quote's come through?
No, so in this particular instance, we're running a campaign. If a customer wants to go and get a quote from head office, they are just filling in a quote form.
Sure.
So it doesn't have that smartness to it at the moment. Whether or not Wash Rite implements that is a separate discussion. But from our side, when we do a campaign, we're sending to our existing database. So the client will get an email. There's a button, call to action. They click on the button, and that takes them to the Jobber website, where there is a form that they then complete, which gives us the information. It's got some questions about whether they're a double story, single story, what services they want, et cetera, and it helps us to then provide an accurate quote. So that's a new thing that we've just been able to implement. Previously, I think it must be a new addition, because previously I've only been able to ask the customer to schedule an assessment, and then that generally has come with one service, whereas this now seems to have really opened the scope.
So we're not just the house washing anymore. We're like, ooh, maybe, honey, do we need to do the driveway? Can we do the roof? Can we do this?
Windows,
they do that. They do this. They do that. So average order size has increased.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Without they discovering it themselves, rather than us saying, hey, this is a bigger price.
And these are existing customers in our database. So what I do is I reference what work they have done previously, so I can see what we have quoted.
Sure.
And I'd say 80% of them, they've only ever requested 1 or 2 services. They're now requesting 4 to 5. So there's real value in just the smart applications that they have.
Thank you, Jobber. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long has that campaign been running for?
Literally started it at 2:00 yesterday afternoon. It got sent out.
Okay.
So we've had over 25 quote requests.
Wow.
And generated $20,000 worth of revenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, say revenue as in that's
Quotes.
booked in, or just quotes?
Quotes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, out of that we've had more than 50% of those accepted already. So we're 60% acceptance at the moment. So
is that pretty normal? For
That's high.
That's real high?
Yeah. The last campaign we had about 80%. So
really?
yeah.
That's low.
Yeah. Okay. We're not there yet. So some of the requests have only just come through. So we get notified when a customer has a look at a look at a quote, and I can tell you that the main reason is people haven't looked at those quotes. Sure. So to do the actual approvals. Yeah.
Well, because it was only 2:00 yesterday.
Yeah. Well, some of them have only come through this morning, so they've only just been issued, and people will be at work.
Might get a few come through over the weekend.
Yeah.
Get off work and go through their emails and sweet as, check this off the list.
Yeah.
All right, so then that might book you up for next week. How long in advance if someone books a job? Generally, are they pretty much ready to go, or does it take some time?
Yeah. So if they book a job, it's basically up to us really how we fit them into the schedule and how we make it work. Yep.
And how's that working for you guys so far? Because my understanding is, unlike some of the other Wash Rites that I've done work with, you guys are sort of macro, looking at the overview of the business, and you've got Ben and Max and Ross
on the tools.
On tools. How's that going?
Yeah, good. Well, I'm the person.
You're the one.
I'm the one. So I'm a puzzle. Yeah, I'm putting together puzzle pieces really every week, and it's finding how do we maximize the time that we have, with the team members that we do have, and make sure that we can pump out as much work as we possibly can every day. And it's actually been relatively easygoing. the hardest part is really when you've got big jobs, because you can't really put one guy on one big job. It means you're taking two guys out of the field. So making that balance is sometimes a little bit tricky.
Yeah, I guess it's a case of doing the equation. Okay, we've got this many people, this many jobs, to move it around. And like anything, I guess, like you get used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
How, I was going to ask, what was it? That's when, like, winter must suck.
Yeah.
People getting sick.
Yeah.
Can't do much about that.
Well, you kind of hope they're sick for a bit because there's not enough work.
Yeah, we bought at the tail end of, we started right in the sort of end of winter. Almost.
Yeah.
And it was pretty hard to keep them busy. But what we also found was when we were getting business, people would want it done closer to spring or closer to the sunshine.
Right.
Now we're like, just do it now. We're in the zone. We're in the springtime. So winter's a different animal. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the discussions we're having is how can we be strategic about building up a client base that is dependable over that period of time. So working with property managers who will always have a need and have to meet certain requirements in terms of healthy homes, like getting gutters done, etc., etc. So we're networking with quite a few property managers and property maintenance partners to just try and get that pipeline steady for winter. And then also how do we diversify our commercial clients so that we can potentially push commercial jobs into the winter period. And keep our guys busy that way.
So when you say diversified, do you only have a specific type that you're getting right now?
Well, we're we have a lot of residential customers. So ultimately they are going to hold out until summer to have their jobs done. So you want customers that are, real estate agents that have to sell a property regardless of what time of the year it is. So you want to be cleaning those houses. You want to be working with property partners who have got somebody's house that they're looking after who has a rental in there, and potentially a leak is going to happen because they've got a block gutter or that kind of thing. So you want
to builders as well.
Yeah.
There's no real seasonal schedule to it. They're just getting houses out as they come out. So we do the new build washes. So it's finding residential work that still comes out regularly throughout the year. It's sort of trying to diversify from the general public and their residential needs over spring and summer into the sort of more commercial side of property, residential property.
That makes a lot of sense.
But also then trying to diversify into the bigger commercial jobs, right? Because these guys, often the work has to be done on the weekends or at night.
True.
And we're happy to do that over winter, spread that over the thinner days.
And the other thing we've done is we made some network connections while we were at the conference with Wash Rite guys. And so we've come together and said, we'll give you referrals, you give us referrals, and that's worked really well. And hopefully as winter sort of comes around, we can both help each other out because we both really struggled during that period.
Sure.
And, where we've had property managers that we've got relationships with, we're introducing them to those property managers and vice versa.
Yep.
So we're kind of trying to create a business hub, I
love that. That's really cool. And that's the whole point of you utilising that team advantage that we have.
Exactly.
I think it's good for the customers too. They see a bit of congruency between Wash Rite, Wash Rite. To them it might just be it's one brand or logo. But I guess the relationship is made between you and your contacts. How do you, obviously you might have you might have already had existing relationships when you came into the business, but in terms of like reaching out to new real estate agents or diversifying that client base, how and what do you normally do to get those new connections?
Well, we've joined up with networking groups. Okay. So I attend every week BNI. Graham goes every second week to TNG. and through that we make connections, and it's very far-reaching. For example, I've just made a connection with one of the solar panel companies, and we're going to try and see if we can't get a deal out with them that every new panel that gets installed, they get a voucher for a panel clean with us at a discounted rate. And so it's just things like that. We ended up getting onto the Barfoot and Thompson preferred supplier list through that process through BNI.
Cool.
And Graham's had quite a few contacts made with TNG. We also got a good connection with the Barfoot team over there. We've done a massive campaign where we made over $24,000 through them.
Wow.
And during a really tough time where we had no work. We basically kept us busy for the balance of August. I think it was from mid-August to the end of August. They kept us busy.
So when you have no work on, what do you guys normally do to keep yourself busy? Or
well, we go find work.
What does that look like?
So we sit together like we did yesterday and said, right, pipeline's looking really, really slim. We don't have anything. What are we going to do? So we go, first thing is low-hanging fruit. We've got an existing client base who maybe just needs to be reminded. So first thing is we get that going. And see what happens over there. Then the next thing is we start targeting. We look at our client base and see who, for example, had a roof treatment done 24 months ago. And I'll do a personalised campaign to those individuals and get in touch with them. And that also generates quite a bit of interest. I do that generally every month. Beginning of the month, I'll go through and have a look at, who serviced with us last year. And then I send them a personalised email saying, this is what you had done 2 years ago. Do you want to do a refresh on your exterior clean? And I will generally get 10 to 15 jobs out of that. Cool. So, the other thing we do is we will have a chat about who do we know in the networking groups. Because I go weekly, there's generally something that'll come out of that. And then we just look at how we can make those connections and make it happen,
And I think it's trying to be proactive enough. It's sort of not waiting for the day when there is no work.
Sure.
It's being able to look ahead and go, hang on, we're going to be empty there. So let's pump now and see if we can fill that. And then I think as we get better at our process, is to then just keep growing the number of connections we can make.
Yeah.
So the business development becomes pretty much a full-time job. Literally just meeting every single estate agent we can, every single property manager, every builder, every construction company.
It should snowball, I guess, when you first start, right?
And then there'll be a tipping point where it should just,
start coming to us.
Self-sufficient.
And I've got it in my head that in a year's time we will have this will be so much steadier. We'll have enough pipeline constantly that we won't have to be that proactive. I think we'll always have to be proactive, but we're connected with the other groups, and I have group chats with the girls about how busy they are. And for example, Tauranga and Hamilton are completely booked out, and I'm sitting here going, we're not booked out. And how do we change that? How do we?
So we're kind of in that. We're almost a new franchise in this area.
Yeah.
Yet it is an existing business that is running.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we've kind of got a foot in both sides of that business.
Because it would have come with the database when you bought it, right? Or have you guys been building that since you started?
As in?
No.
Your email database.
Oh, no. Came with Jobber, it's an existing business. But
it's just not in the area.
Sure.
North Shore.
Our catchment area, which is the biggest and most lucrative area. We don't have the work here where we're based.
Yeah. So what has happened with our
sense.
business is a lot of it has come from, because Rossendonna live in Mangawhai and it's a much smaller community, they have managed to build quite good connections in that area, and there's a lot of visibility. They've got the trucks that are always in and around, and so there's a really strong client base in Mangawhai, and people talk, and there's a lot of that goes on, and the competition's a lot less. You go to Auckland and the area is just so vast, and that we don't have a lot of advertising out here. And we've definitely got work, but it's not enough. For example, at the moment we're sending the boys to Mangawhai 3 days a week, whereas considering the size of the North Shore and Rodney area, we should technically be able to keep them busy here and not have to send them up to Mangawhai. So there's just a bit of a disconnect there, that we have to change the North Shore business and get a little bit more.
Sounds like something really good to work towards.
Yeah, totally. It's such fun.
Have to timestamp this one and come back here another year from now. Be like, all right, cool. A year ago we said this is where we want to be. Where are we now? How are we doing? What have we done? What have we tried?
Yeah.
And how have you guys been getting on with your social media stuff? I've seen a video come through.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit last night.
Yeah, it's definitely not as much as I'd like it to be. We've spoken a little bit about getting some administrative support to take away some of the stuff that I end up getting quite sucked into every day, so that I can get involved in the more value add stuff, like the social media, like creating some videos, going to go and do some script, videoing of the guys, some photographs, etc., and then also spending a bit more time on the business development instead of spending, like today I've spent 4 hours doing quotes.
Sure.
That's a lot of time,
Yeah, and I think we haven't really had access to the guys a lot.
Sure.
Because they're up north, staying up there, working up there, so it's limited our sort of ability to get
content of them in action. Okay.
And I think there's still I still think we were trying to run ads rather than doing a social media presence. That's my background.
Yeah, right.
And seeing that doesn't actually work as well. It's like I'm an old dog learning new things.
So, comfort zone, right? We have to push ourselves a little out of our comfort zone.
We're coming around.
It's also like a time thing.
That's it.
Like just like you said before about being in this new business, basically in this area. Like the best social media strategy is when you've got a good organic amount of views happening, and then when you run an ad, those same people who've been following you see the ad. Let's say you're gonna have like 7 or 9 touch points now before you can ask someone to buy.
Totally.
Which adds up. Like, how many times would you want to meet and hang out with someone before you start being like, hey, can I? It's like basically trying to sell them on your service.
Exactly.
And that just takes time to build up to that point. Good to have both. So you already got the advertising stuff that you can work on, that you bring from your pre-existing jobs, but with the organic content, have you guys? I think we might have talked a little bit about it at the conference around using your personal social media accounts other than just the Wash Rite account. Have you guys put any thought to that?
What, to doing ads on it, or
just for organic content? So like. You know how I see Ross has a really good reputation up in Mangawhai. I sort of see that it's the same, like on social media. They do business with Wash Rite up there because of Ross. It really is the people.
We have definitely run some stuff, but we were talking about it the other day. So it is something that we need to do a little bit more of. Right when we took over the business, both of us posted about it.
Cool.
But we've both got. Because we're not Kiwis, we have people from South Africa, so it's a little but it is important for us to do it, and I mean I definitely put things on every now and again, but Graham's not a big poster, so I have to get his password so I can do all his posting.
Connect them all.
I'm his social media manager apparently.
Nice.
I have to do all the tags and
it's a double generation gap. Between social media and how we've worked and lived our whole lives. It's it's just natural for younger people to do it.
it's a language.
Yeah.
It's like, I imagine if I had moved to South Africa, I wouldn't speak Afrikaans, you know, like there'd be some people who would speak English, but like in terms of if I was trying to start a business over there, it'd be in my best interest to take time and learn the language, communicate with the locals, whereas the younger generation have grown up basically communicating with their friends already and practicing through school, creating content and sharing videos.
And I think the thing is we're not on the tools, so to create content is hard. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not there. And it just means I've got to take time out of my day to go get the content.
Well, that's assuming the content needs to have someone on the tools, though.
Yeah.
So that's where I was trying to...
I know, this part is very different.
Well, it's the thing is, like, social media, when it first came out, when we probably first jumped on it, it was sharing media with the people you socialized with, social media. Whereas now, it's actually most of the stuff you post gets shown to majority of people who don't actually know you. But a lot of us still only use our social media to share what we're doing in our personal life with our friends and family, which is totally cool. But if you're wanting to use social media for business, then trying to talk to people who don't know you, it's probably, you're not really going to be posting about your beach walk unless it's got some sort of value or quote or something that, you know, speaks to your character. I think that is what some businesses are missing now, is they think they only post on social media about the actual job they do or the services they provide, rather than posting about, like, what do you stand for, what is it, something that you enjoy doing that other people enjoy doing, and then you connect over that common interest first. It'd be very similar to meeting someone if you were playing golf, and then while you're playing golf you start talking about business, and then you find out they run IKEA, and then you're like, but it all started because you played golf first. And trying to take that same premise and put that onto social media, meet them somewhere non-threatening.
Yeah, more social.
And then you can have Wash Rite up in North Shore tagged in your bio and link a couple of videos back to your page if, you know, they've seen a few things and they're going a deep dive. But leading in with that more human, personality, but like anything, it's finding your voice and learning the language first.
That's the hard part, is getting yourself on video.
You've been
I've been practicing. Every time I go on a drive, I have a little dash cam thing now, and I try every day. Yeah.
And you're not posting it out.
I'm just trying to get comfortable behind
love that.
it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's my extent of But I'll get there. But
100% you will.